So in my last video, I shared with you some things that I would need to stop doing in 2020 in order to achieve my financial goals to begin paying off one of my student loans in 2021. So here are 6 steps to begin that process. So this is my favorite part of the goal setting process, the planning. We're actually getting somewhere now. Now that we have acknowledged some of the bad habits that kind of get in the way of achieving a goal, we can now move forward towards action planning. So step 1, identify your lender, your servicer, and your repayment plan. So if you have federal loans like I do, the first step you would need to take is go into the National Student Loan Data System to find out all of your federal student loans that you have signed off for while you were in college. Now, if you have private loans, like I do as well, you may need to take an additional step forward. So I started with annualcreditreport.com. It is a great way to find your private loans and your loan servicer because it does pull up your credit report in order to retrieve that information for you. Now you can check your credit report for free by going to freecreditreport.com. You can also use free tools like creditkarma.com if you want to monitor it on a more frequent basis. But basically, once you start establishing your credit report, you will be able to see all your lenders listed. If all else fails, especially if you're still in school or just about to graduate, you can always visit your financial aid office at the college, university, or trade school that you attended. Now, on some of your information, you might find different terms like lender, servicer, or guarantor. Be mindful of the different terms that are used when you are researching this information. Step 2, do the math and find out your payoff date. Determine how much of an overpayment you can make each month. Now, there are many different calculator tools out there, but one of the best tools I have found that is free and easy to access has been the Bankrate Student Loan Calculator. Step 3, decide whether or not you want to consolidate or refinance, or just pay them off individually. Now, in some cases, if you choose to consolidate all your loans and get a different interest rate, that is considered to be a form of refinancing. Now, with my private loans, I didn't want to consolidate my private loans and federal loans together because then I would lose the benefit of having federal loan payment plan options. With my private loans, I decided to keep those separate. So once you've figured out who your lenders are and you know how much you owe them, you can now use all of this information to populate into the Bankrate Student Loan Calculator. So when you get to the Bankrate calculator, you'll need 3 different points of information. Be sure not to guess on this information. You do truly want an accurate calculation. So be sure to take a good look at your numbers once you've done all the research and you found out all of the information that you need to know about your lenders and what you owe. This is a good indication that you know how to read your loan documents. So you'll need to know the following. 1 is your exact loan amount as of your last payment. So you're going to need to make sure that you're fully current and up to date on all of your student loan payments in order to find this information out accurately. If not, then you may need to take a step back and call some of your servicers once you've gathered all the information that you need to find out how you can become current on any of your outstanding debt so that you can begin a overpayment plan. Second, you'll need to know the loan term in either months or years. And the last bit of information that you'll need to populate into the calculator is your interest rate. Now, if you're like me, I have a variable interest rate, so I'm putting in the interest rate as it currently is now. And it's all the more reason for why I want to try to pay this off this year. Given the current state of the economy, the interest rates are pretty low. So it's easier for me to make larger payments and have them apply towards the principal while the interest rate is still fairly low, and while my federal loans are currently put on a administrative forbearance given the current state of the economy. So now that we've gotten all this information and you've done all your research to find out all your loans and who you owe and where you need to make payments to, and now we're on the Bankrate calculator, what you'll need to do now, type in the overpayment amount you would like to apply monthly. Put in the month that you would like to start doing this process of overpayment, then click on Apply Extra Payment. This calculation will allow you to see your full payment schedule, and then it gives you a breakdown of how long it'll take you to reach 0. In my case, as I explained before, I'd like to try to get this done in 12 months. So I continue to adjust the payments until it reached 0 in about 12 months. So now that we have these calculations, now we need to figure out how do we earn this extra money to make these overpayments. So step 4, earn extra money by doing some side gigs. So let's reverse engineer this. It says that my overpayment amount would be about $1,400 a month, in addition to my standard monthly repayment. That means if I want to come up with $1,400 extra dollars each month, I'm going to have to figure out a way to make $350 per week over the course of 4 weeks for a total of a month. In order to achieve that goal of making $350 a week, I'm going to have to figure out how to budget my time per day to do deliveries, which means that in order to achieve a $350 goal per week, I would have to average between $30 to $50 per day in order to get that goal, leaning more so towards the $50 goal per day. Because I've been doing this for quite some time, I know that any given day I can be sure to get at least $30 a day. So to set my expectations, I'm setting my goal for $30 a day, and then maybe I can pick up some extra hours during the weekend. The next step is to develop a plan to pay. Next, you'll need to be strategic about when to assign your overpayments and to make sure your overpayments are going towards the principal and not future interest. There are some experts and articles out there that suggest you make your overpayments every 2 weeks. And then there are some who suggest that you make a overpayment at the end of the month after you've just made your standard monthly payment. I'm still trying to figure out which one is best for me, but I think I'm leaning more towards the extra payment at the end of the month directly after I've made my standard repayment. I'll link below the 2 articles that talk about making overpayments either bi-weekly or at the end of the month. All right, so the very last step to all of this is to visualize a future without any student loan debt. Keep in mind that none of the steps that I mentioned are actionable if you don't truly believe that you can achieve it. You have to truly envision a life that's drastically different from what you're currently living now. So for example, the realization for me was when I went on a trip to Thailand and I met several other women who were from all parts of the US and US territories. And I wondered to myself, what would this be like if I could do this anytime I wanted? And that kind of got the ball rolling for me and realizing if I really like this type of lifestyle of meeting people and getting to take time off whenever I wanted and enjoy and meet other people and learn from them, what that would be like for me. And so I realized I kind of have to get out of the situation that I'm in now in order to fulfill that type of lifestyle for myself if I choose to. What would you do if you didn't have to worry about any student loan debt or any debt at all? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, everyone, that's all I have for now. I'll see you on the next one.